Hit him with them balls.
Yeah, hey.
Hit him with your ball sack.
Pestilence talking, hear that chopper sing. Outcast plague spread, leave a stain on your team. Chopper go, grata, let it sing like a ghost. Pestilence in my hand, spray and pray, do the most. Plague of the outcast, yeah, carry that curse. Heavy LMG drum, let it burst, no rehearse.
Daddy, chill.
Toxic rounds, green smoke where I bang. Toxic bodies drop fast, ain't no life in this aim. Dead. Outcast legacy, we the mark of the doom. Division deep with that chopper go boom boom. Backpack heavy, I'm the reaper in black. Cheek clapping steady, hear the bullets slap back. Plague tears drip slow like motor oil. DC streets raise us, we was born in turmoil. Spray and pray, I ain't missing today. No miss. Dripping in gear that was born to slay. Clip after clip, let it hum that pain. Plague of the outcast, remember the name.
What the fuck? I didn't know he could climb. I never seen his ass climb before.
Pestilence roar, can't deny it's fact.
Did I just respawn again? What's the Pestilence and Striker's favorite workout? Recoil management. Spoiler, they skipped arm day. Dag joke of the day. What's going on, Dags? If you're new to the channel, welcome to Died Again Gaming. I'm your host, Nox, where my favorite thing to do is respawn, and it's not because I'm good. For today's video, I'm going to show you 3 builds that utilize the Striker Battlegear set and the Pestilence. And I'm going to give you my honest review if it's worth using the Pestilence with the Striker Battlegear set. But just remember, at the end of the day, those are just my 2 cents, and you are always encouraged to play whatever you want to play. Use whatever gear set or brand set and gun that you have fun with, and don't listen to some random person on the internet. Alright, Dax, let's talk about the pros and the cons of the Striker's Battlegear. Starting with the pros, it is Strikers. Strikers is going to Striker, and Strikers is always going to be Strikers. It's really hard to make a Strikers build bad just because the way that the gear set works, and that is one of the biggest pros why the Pestilence works with the Strikers gear set, because you can literally use any gun. Another pro is that the 2-piece and 3-piece give you weapon handling, which the Pestilence really needs. And it gives you the 15% rate of fire, which is going to increase how fast you shoot the Pestilence and how fast you can stack up Plague of the Outcast. And another pro is that potentially you could do over 1 million per bullet, which is pretty nutty. Also, these loadouts are really easy to farm with the exceptions of the Turmoil Kneepads. The biggest pro about Striker's gear set is that it will literally work anywhere. You can run it in heroics, challenging, hard, legendary, incursions, rage. Using the Striker gear set is literally the biggest pro that I can list. Now let's go to the cons. You're going to do lower tick damage because the Striker's gamble does not actually boost the tick damage. So you will do more weapon damage with the Pestilence at the expense of the tick damage. Another con of using the Pestilence with the Strikers is the lack of burst damage. And that's because the mods on the gun don't add any critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and the Plague of the Outcast doesn't do burst damage, it does sustain damage. Another con is that you're going to pretty much, to make the Pestilence be fully optimized, you're going to have to run an all red build. It wouldn't really make sense to run blue cores with the Pestilence, you might as well run a different gun. Another con is the Turmoil Kneepads. The last con that I can think of is not really a con. It's only going to be a con if you don't have an aggressive playstyle, because running Strikers with the Pestilence, you're going to have to constantly shoot down range just to maintain your Striker stacks and to make sure that the Plague of the Outcast is out there doing his tick thing. So that's not necessarily a con, but if you don't have an aggressive playstyle, it will be a con. Alrighty, Dags, that's about it for my 2 cents. Let me know if I missed anything, and let me know if you agree or disagree with any of the pros or cons that I listed. Once again, these are my 2 cents, so don't take them too hard. With my final verdict being is that the Plague of the Outcast can work with the Striker Battlegear set, but honestly, I think you're better off using another type of LMG where you could get more benefit from, just shooting the gun. The Pestilence is a super strong gun, don't get me wrong, and it works really well with Strikers, but also any gun works really well with Strikers, so keep that in mind. With all that being said, I'm going to showcase the build that I personally run, and I'm going to show you 2 variants that you can run if you don't have the Turmoil Kneepads. Alrighty, Dags, let's go over a couple of Striker builds and different variants that you can run. Starting off with the specialization, we are going with Gunner. Of course, we got the Pestilence with the Plague of the Outcast talent. I have the Rock and Roll as the secondary, and for the sidearm I got the TI card custom with that +1 skill tier with Future Perfect. And the reason being is when I whip out the tier card custom, it's going to increase my level. And then when I place my precision smart cover, it's actually going to stay at whatever skill tier it was when I placed it. So even after you swap out from the TR custom back to the Pestilence, it's going to stay at whatever skill tier it was placed. And that is a super easy way how you can get an additional 7% damage target out of the cover. And for the secondary skill, you can run whatever you want. I just have like a striker drone in place. And this right here is my preferred loadout, is with the Turmoil Kneepads and the Pestilence. And the reason why I like the Turmoil Kneepad is because the secondary target is actually going to double dip in damage target out of cover and amplify damage sources. Hence, the perfect glass cannon is going to give us 30% amplified damage. The Plague of the Outcast is going to give us the 12% damage to target out of cover. And then we're going to get, depending on what skill tier we play this, we're going to get like 21 plus damage target out of cover. And all those sources are actually going to apply twice to the secondary target of the Bewildered talent. And with this loadout is actually going to do the most damage per bullet. And running the Sacrifice double crit with the Perfect Glass Cannon is going to give you the biggest bang for the buck. And then finally, I got 4 pieces of the Striker's gear set. It comes with the weapon handling, rate of fire, and then the Striker's gamble, which is a really nice stacking damage boost. And when it comes to critical hit chance, just get enough critical hit chance to get you to at least 50%, and then dump the rest into critical hit damage. It doesn't matter where you put it. Here's the gloves, the holster, and because we have the backpack, we're also going to unlock risk management, which is going to give us even more damage per stack from 0.65 to 0.9. And sadly, this total weapon damage doesn't actually boost the amount of damage that the Plague of the Outcast does. Modifiers is going to be the same for all 3 of the loadouts. I'm going to have Tech Link, Multitasker, Best Kind of Defense, and Loaded Up. Stat-wise, we're going to be sitting about the same. I don't have the modifiers on, so we're sitting at 54% critical hit chance, 105 critical hit damage, 98% headshot damage, but both of those are going to go up when I unlock the modifiers. And here's the defensive stats. The second hardest loadout is actually going to be with that COYOTE's mask right here. The only difference with this loadout is we don't have the Turmoil Kneepads. Now we have the COYOTE's mask. And we're going to change around some of those critical hit chance mods to critical hit damage. And when we go to our stats, we're sitting at 34% critical hit chance, 129 critical hit damage, 98% headshot damage. And there's the defense stats. And the reason why we are sitting at such a low critical hit chance is because of the COYOTE's mask talent, Packed Instincts. Depending on what range we shoot enemies, we're going to get critical hit chance or critical hit damage or both. And for the most part, we are going to be playing in the 25 meters plus range to get that 25% critical hit chance. And then for the majority of the other time, we might be within the 15 to 25 meter to get the 10% of critical hit chance and critical hit damage. And if you don't got the COYOTE's mask, don't worry. You could also run this loadout right here. And the only thing that's changed is instead of running the COYOTE's mask, we're going to go to the Contractor's gloves. And Contractor gloves are always amazing when you are running an LMG just because of the brand set bonus. You get the damage to the armor, and then you can put whatever you want for the secondary attribute. Stat-wise, we are at 52% critical hit chance, 81% critical hit damage. And out of the 3 loadouts, you saw this one right here is actually going to hit the least amount. And to be honest, the damage difference between running the Contractor gloves and the COYOTE's mask is not that much. The biggest damage difference is actually going to come when you run the Turmoil Kneepad just because of the double dipping of the damage to target out of cover and amplified damage sources. So if you want to do the most amount of damage, rock this loadout right here. Alrighty, Dags, let me know what you guys thought about my breakdown and review about using the Pestilence with the Striker's Battlegear set. And I'm curious to see what kind of changes you guys would make or how you actually run your loadouts. And as always, if you made it this far, make sure to like the video, drop a comment below of what you think. And if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe so it'll help out the channel. That's all for now, so get out there and start clapping them cheeks.